June 15, 2026, Atlanta Stadium. On one side of the pitch, the European champions, Spain, a team packed with academy prodigies and global superstars. On the other, Cape Verde, a nation of barely 500,000 people making its World Cup debut. For almost the entire 90 minutes, Spain pinned Cape Verde deep in their own half. The Spanish offense unleashed a continuous, exhausting barrage on the goal, testing the defensive backline again and again. But every time the Spanish attack broke through, they hit a wall. Ferran Torres, Pedri, Aymeric Laporte, some of the most lethal finishers in the sport, kept getting shut down by a 40-year-old goalkeeper. He was everywhere, diving across the grass, tracking deflections, commanding his penalty box, and single-handedly absorbing the pressure of a world-class offense. The final whistle blew on a shocking 0-0 draw. The veteran keeper secured Player of the Match honors. As his teammates rushed the pitch to mob him, he collapsed to his knees and broke down in tears. In the span of 90 minutes, an unknown journeyman secured a result against a football giant. That single defensive stand immediately turned him into a global phenomenon. This chart shows his Instagram following on the day of the match. For years, it sat modestly at around 500,000. Within a few hours of full-time, that line rockets up to nearly 5 million. The world's top players took notice immediately. French star Paul Pogba went online to post, "The Cape Verde goalkeeper is really something, wow." The internet algorithms did what they do best, serving him up as a sudden, magical discovery. To millions scrolling on their phones, he was a fresh face who had seemingly materialized out of thin air to frustrate Spain. But who actually is Vozinha? Where exactly does a 40-year-old World Cup star come? The viral narrative of an overnight sensation completely misses reality. His performance in Atlanta was the result of a grueling, decades-long grind across the globe. To find his starting line, we have to rewind decades and travel to the coastal city of São Vicente in Cape Verde. He was born Josimar José Évora Dias. His childhood required intense independence. His mother was constantly working to support the family, and his father was away serving in the military. Because of his parents' absence, he was raised primarily by his grandparents. To honor them, he adopted the nickname Vozinha. In Portuguese, it translates directly to Little Granny. He didn't start his career at a wealthy club with manicured pitches. His professional debut happened locally, grinding away for non-elite island teams like Batuque FC and CS Mindelense. He lacked the endless resources and top-tier coaching available to European academy players. His developmental baseline was built entirely on familial devotion and local resilience. He left the island, moving to Progresso in Angola. The team already had a goalkeeper named Josimar, so Vozinha was permanently printed on his jersey. From Angola, he embarked on a chaotic progression through football's obscure leagues. He signed in Moldova, then Cyprus, then Slovakia. Today, he plays for Chaves, a club quietly competing in Portugal's second-tier football league. While the Spanish stars he faced in Atlanta were flying on chartered jets to elite Champions League matches, Vozinha was riding buses to muddy training pitches in the remote corners of Eastern Europe. Those lonely outposts forged a unique psychological endurance. When you've carried your family's name through the toughest, most invisible leagues in the world, the pressure of a World Cup opener feels remarkably manageable. Which brings us back to the final whistle in Atlanta. Knowing the 20 years of geographic and professional isolation he survived to reach that pitch, those tears take on a completely different meaning. He was not crying over a clean sheet. In the post-match press conference, he explained it. He wept because he had finally reached the absolute pinnacle of his sport, but the grandparents who raised him, the very people whose name he wore on his back, had died before they could see it. And the final crushing detail, his own mother couldn't be in the stadium to watch him shut down Spain. The family simply couldn't secure the money for her travel visa in time. There is no such thing as an overnight sensation. Vozinha's viral fame is simply the long-overdue spotlight on a lifetime of quiet sacrifice. He proved that the most enduring greatness brews patiently in the shadows, long before the world ever tunes in.